Good morning. This is Susan, and this is Susan's Ramblings. As I told you a few days ago, and my days slipped by really fast here, I was going to be making some candy. I've got 6 candies here to show you today, with more on the way. The first one we've got is Ritz peanut butter patties. Most of my recipes are very simple. They only use a few ingredients, and they've been around for years and years. This one I made when my children were small. And since they're over 50 years old today, it's a long old recipe, 40 years at least. You use a package of Ritz crackers, 2 packages of chocolate almond bark, and 1 jar of smooth peanut butter. And you take your Ritz crackers and you spread the peanut butter on one of them. Then you top it off with the second Ritz cracker. So you make kind of sandwiches. You keep doing that until you get them all made. I think it comes out to about 48 of them from Ritz cracker packages today. Then you take your almond bark and you put 1 package, just take 1 package at a time, and put it in a microwave safe bowl. Microwave it on high for 90 seconds, 1.5 minutes. And then you take it out and you smooth it. And then you dip your cookies into it, or your sandwiches into it. When you do your dip sandwiches, and after they're dipped, put them on a parchment-lined baking sheet. And believe me, I say this from experience because I forgot it this time. And I started taking my cookies off, and they started breaking into pieces. So what I did was, this isn't sure not recommended, but I had chicken broth cooking on the stove. So I took my pan and I put it over there for a few minutes, and when it softened up, then I took my cookies and my candies and I put them on a parchment-lined sheet. But it took me twice as long, otherwise I would have been done a lot earlier. But anyway, that's what I made. Rich peanut butter cracker cookies. And here's what they look like. Just like that. They look good, don't they? Look at that middle one. That one I broke off. And it, without the parchment sheet, they were all breaking off like that. I was usually able to save most of them because I put them back together. And I put them over the steaming chicken broth. But that was one I saved. Anyway, that's a favorite for us. Let's see what we come up with next one, should we? And remember, these are all simple. I go through a lot of almond bark when I start making these cookies. It's cheaper and it's easier to use than it is than to melt chocolate chips or something. Next one is Santa hats, or what we call Santa hats. 1 package of Bugles snacks, a package of vanilla almond bark, and a package of Christmas M&Ms. Now you're not going to use all the Bugles, and you're not going to use all the M&Ms, but I put a package anyway. Whatever you got left, you use them for somewhere else. You put your almond bark again in a microwave safe bowl. Microwave on high for 1.5 minutes or 90 seconds. Take from the microwave and stir it until smooth. Now that's my microwave. Your microwave may take longer or less. You're going to have to just experiment until you find out what's right. You take your bugle and you dip the open end of the bugle in the almond bark. Now you look, there will be kind of a curve. It looks like a hat. And the open end is what you dip in the almond bark. And while the that almond bark is loose, then you dip the M&M in the open end of the bugle. Now, there are some bugles that are shut tight and you can't use them. So then I just place my tongue is all twisted up. Then I just placed the M&M on top of the end. All right, here's we go. Here's my Santa hats. They're pretty good, don't you? See, here's an example of where they wouldn't fit in my hat in the end, and this is another one, so I just put them on top. Instead of sticking them inside the M&M, sticking them inside the M&Ms, like that one, or that one, that one, that one, that one, like that. Either way, that way I didn't waste my M&Ms, and I had more candies. Okay, that's my next one. My next one is, I think, I can't get my paper off here. Almond bark pretzels. Yep, that's what it was. This is another simple recipe. Like I said, I use a lot of almond bark. I buy it every year when it's on sale, and then I store it overnight, over winter, until the next year. Or I might use, you got Christmas, Valentine's coming up. I might take chocolate and make some kind of chocolate candy. Easter, I might make something for Easter. But I always have the almond bark in my pantry to be used, and I think it's cheaper and it's easier to use than melted chocolate chips. That's my opinion, but you have your own, your kitchen, your rules. All right, almond bark. 1 package of vanilla almond bark, 1 package of pretzel twits, and 1 package of pretzel twits. There again, you're not going to use the whole package, but if you want to, I guess you could. Then you would need more almond bark. Melt the almond bark again in the microwave. Heat on high for 1.5 minutes or 90 seconds. Take out a spoon. Take out the almond bark and stir it until it's smooth. Then you drop your pretzels into the almond bark and use a fork to flip them on both sides. You place it on a parchment lined plate. This is one of my granddaughter's favorite ones. And we like the salty and the sweet that's put together there. So I made a bunch of them. Okay, got them. The next one is, I don't know what's coming up here yet. Retro jelly nuggets. Oh, these are good. This is a recipe I got from Noreen's kitchen. I follow several channels on YouTube that gives us recipes, and this is one I follow. Years and years ago, when you walk into a grocery store, especially the small chain grocery stores, they had a assortment of bark candies in front, and you got to pick. I take a sack, you got to pick whatever you wanted, and they charge you so much a pound. Anyway, jelly Nougats were some of them, and they were my favorite. They're delicious. Anyway, I found a recipe for it. I found a recipe last winter, but never got around to making them. Last winter was a difficult winter for everybody last Christmas because we were still isolated. Or those of us older people who had the autoimmune diseases were quarantined. We were isolated, so we didn't get sick. But anyway, so I didn't get it. It wasn't much of a Christmas for us. Okay, this one takes butters. It takes 2 packages of mini marshmallows and 2 bags of white chocolate chips. Now it says 2 cups of non-sugar gumdrops, and they call them dots. And they usually come in a theater box. You know, these are the boxes that they buy in the theater that comes about $1 a piece. Well, anyway, when I went to my dollar store, it's the only place I would have found them, they didn't have that, and I didn't want to use sugar. So I used gummy worms, and I used gummy bears. I didn't know if it was going to work out, but it did. Anyway, so you do this. Okay, I'm trying to figure out what my directions say here. You prepare a 9 by 13 pan by spraying it. And then you lie parchment paper or foil both ways into the pan so that it hangs over the edge. Then you put your butter and your marshmallows in a large microwave-safe bowl. Use a microwave because it is really, really difficult to use on a stove. Okay? So heat on high for 1 minute. Remove from the microwave and stir. And then you return it to the microwave for 1 more minute. And then you can stir well all until all is well blended. Your butter will still be melt slower than your marshmallow. So you will have to make sure you get the butter all mixed in well. And then you add the chocolate chips. And you return to the microwave for 30 seconds intervals, stirring after each interval until the chips are incorporated into the marshmallows. And then you stir in the gumdrops, my gummy worms, and you mix well. Let me tell you, this one is not an easy one to do if you've got rheumatoid arthritis or if you got fibromyalgia like I do. My muscles just don't work at times, and it was sticky, it was tough, it was hard to handle. I started out with a spoon, and I ended up, I did get it all mixed up with the spoon, but when I went to put it in the pan, it just wasn't working, the spoon. So I ended up using a ladle to put it in the pan, and then it went that way. But anyway, after you get everything mixed up, you pour it into the prepared pan and you spread it evenly. There was no way you could spread it, but then you put a parchment sheet on top of the pan and you press down on it and you press on it until everything is nice and even. And then you leave your parchment on and refrigerate at least 2 hours, preferably overnight. I left mine overnight. Then the next morning, lift your parchment paper off from the pan. You peel the parchment paper away from you, the rest of your candy, and then you cut it into squares. Use a very sharp knife. I had a sharp knife, and I read and it says use hot water if you have to cut it. I didn't have to use hot water to cut it. My knife was sharp enough, and the marshmallows were, I don't know what you call it. But anyway, they cut right away. Here's my retro jelly candies. And they are good, believe me. I would use, my only thing I would do different is I would put more, probably gummy bears in it. No, I don't think I'd put more gummy worms in it. Instead of it, because I did end up with several pieces that I just don't have anything in. So I would put more gummy worms in it. Alright, we got that one taken care of. The next one. Believe me, there's going to be some long videos here. Jello Balls. This is another very, very simple one. You use sweetened condensed milk, and sweetened condensed milk, not evaporated milk. 1 package flaked coconut. In fact, you didn't use a package. I think I used about 3/4 of a package. And then 2 packages of Jello in each flavor. The large Jello. I used orange. You mix your sweetened condensed milk, your coconut, and 1 package of Jello together. And you mix it until it's well blended. Then you chill the mixture overnight. In the morning, you form balls, small balls, and dip the balls into the remaining package of Jello, and you allow it to chill. So it's very, very easy, very, very simple. Should have these ingredients in your cupboard, in your pantry. Here's my Jello balls. As you see, I started out small, like there, like that, and I ended up big, like that. So anyway, Jello balls, very, very good. My family loves them. Okay, and I think we've got one more, if I'm right. Yep, Rocky Road Fudge. This is from the Hillbilly Kitchen, but it is also an old recipe. My mother used to make this, so you know it's at least 50 years old. And she made it because those things were easy to find. And at that time, even if we were poor, she believed in making Christmas special for us. And so she would try something like this, especially in the later years, when she would try candy. So this is 1 can of sweetened condensed milk, 12 ounces of semi-sweet chocolate chips, 1.5 cups of peanuts. I didn't have peanuts, but I had cashews, so that's what I used. And 2 to 4 cups of mini marshmallows, 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now you don't need the butter, you don't need the vanilla, but it makes it taste a little bit better. Okay, this is another microwave one. You put your sweetened condensed milk and chocolate chips and butter in a microwave dish. You microwave on high for 1 minute. In the meanwhile, while you're waiting for that, butter foil that will be put in your pan. The foil will help you lift the bars out and will help you cut them when you get done and when you come to that stage. Microwave, after it comes out of the microwave, stir your chocolate chip mixture. My mouth isn't working again. Stir the chocolate chip mixture well until everything is melted and well blended. There again, the butter is going to take longer to melt than the chocolate chips. So you keep stirring and stirring and stirring until it's all well blended. Don't stop too soon. Then you add your peanuts, your vanilla, and your marshmallows to chocolate mixture. And then you pour it in the pan lined with foil. You cool it, you refrigerate it, and cut it into squares. Alright, this is another one. Let me see if I can grab the thing. I put it way, way back. That was stupid, wasn't it? Okay. I'll do something different next time. Here's my Rocky Road fudge. I believe I'll cut them into smaller squares. They're awful rich. They are good, but I think I'm going to cut them into smaller. I know I'm going to cut them into smaller squares. This is another full batch, so if you're looking for something that got a lot of, most of these things have a lot of. The only thing, Jello Balls only have about 36, but the rest have at least 48 or more, if not more. So they're big recipes. There's my start of my candy recipe. I will have fudge and bonbons, peanut butter, saltine crackers, popcorn balls, and caramel corn yet to do. So we've got a busy couple days ahead of us. I'm also going to start some of the appetizers that we eat, that you can put on a plate, and you can eat them for anything. Or if you have your Christmas Eve party, your Christmas Day party, and you just want snacks, kind of, instead of a full meal, or you have a cocktail party, then you can put these things out, and they're not your average things. Alright, this is it for today. I'll see you tomorrow. I know I will, because I'll have more things done. So, have a good day. God bless you. And we'll see you later. Bye-bye.